Hi, so often when we've worked with people, they say that they don't have any ability to find any more money. They don't have the ability to save. Their situation is different and we need to find ways to help them. And what I share with them is that there are so many ways to unlock money. You may be spending things on things that you don't really value. And that's the key to get real financial happiness, is that you spend money on things that you really, really value. And all it takes sometimes is some intentional awareness, taking a breath before you actually make a purchase decision. And you might realize that you are on a subconscious program, on a pattern of spending that actually isn't really bringing you that much joy. You just didn't know there was an alternative. And why this is important is that there's really two ways to get rich. Really, there's one way and there's two different outcomes. One way is to spend less than you earn. That's the key to getting rich and investing the rest. So there's two levers to do that. You can either earn more or you can spend less. We like to focus on both. How can there be some ways to spend less, or even potentially just choosing to spend money on different things? And then once we do that and we're in a good place and you're not sabotaging yourself, then we can get really focused on increasing your income as well, which is ultimately going to give you the greatest chance of building a really large net worth position. So this tool, it's called the 101 Ways to Unlock Additional Cash so you can fully experience life. That's the important part. We want you to fully experience life, because there's a lot of you who are spending money on things which aren't really bringing richness to your life. There's a lot of people who are here that can't go and do the trip of their dreams. So they're feeling like they're in lack and in the miserable state. But then I look at how they're spending the money and I ask them, are you enjoying this money? We call it just the junk, the wasted money that you're just spending. You're just not aware. So this might help you. So we've categorized it into different categories. There's the going out category. So for example, you could invite your friends over for drinks at home before you hit the town. You could check out free events in the local area. There's so many free events happening all the time in groups like Meetup. So there's just some couple of great examples. Then there's these habits. So thinking about that we have these habitual processes which may be impacting us. So for example, we might have a habit from a young age that every time we went to a gas station, we would buy a soft drink and some chocolate bars and some nuts. Now we know at these places, they're marked up dramatically. And what you're ultimately trying to do is, one, you're probably wanting a snack, but perhaps you don't even want a snack. It's just on autopilot. It might actually be affecting your wellness levels because you actually don't want to put on that extra weight. But if you say it is that you want to have a snack, why not buy the snacks when you're at a supermarket when they're on sale or a lot cheaper, and then have them in the car when you're ready. I always have snacks on me. I love having my snacks. You could also be thinking about where your walk patterns are. If you find yourself purchasing things when you walk down a particular street after work because you're enticed, how about you just pick a different street to walk home the next day? Another group is vacations and travels. I'm right now on a sabbatical in Nicaragua, and everyone's going to be looking like I'm having the greatest time, and I am having an amazing time. It's very rich, but they probably think it's costing so much. But there's different ways to do it. For example, you can organize exchanges. I swap my place for other people's place. You could stick a daily budget so you know not to go over it. And then you look at opportunities. You could see that there's some things around the town if you just go on a nice walking tour. You could also pack your own food for traveling. There's so many different areas. With food, think about how you could be meal planning for the week ahead. You could actually look at coupons. There's always coupons available. You could buy bulk food items in bulk when they're on sale. For example, I will never buy full price tuna because tuna always is on sale at some point in the month. So I'll make sure that I'll buy those things there. So, or you can also look at reductions. We're getting into the next in the home areas. What could you do? You could make sure that you're checking all your subscriptions and canceling any that aren't relevant. You could turn down your thermostat, save on heating bills. You could be installing LED light bulbs, all different ways. And all these things just add up over time. And I think it's worth it if it means that you get to go on that awesome trip at the end of the year, or you get to buy that new bike or something that you really liked. In regards to money areas, you could be making sure that you have a plan to clear any unintentional debt. You could be writing down every month, spending what you want to be spending, and then actually track it compared to what you did and just have a little look and go, is it going to things that really matter to me, or am I wasting it somehow? Buying from a coffee shop, or probably your workplace may even provide it. Walking instead of Ubering, you get your wellness levels up as well. Talking to your boss about getting work from home days, to save on the commuting costs. There's so many different ways you can do this. And in shopping, think about doing the 4 yes test, where you take a break and answer the 4 yes test, which is, do I have the budget for this? Is this in line with my values? Is this going to bring me satisfaction and joy? You could look at potentially, instead of buying books, you could rent books. That's another great way to look at it as well. So there's 101 ways to look at. And perhaps what you could do is just write 1 or 2 from each of the different areas and just make that a commitment and just see what it does. And then you might tick that off and go, I've got that nailed. I've changed that habit. And then you can go the next week to another one. I like just doing little action steps. Don't try to do all of these at one time. 101, that's too much. Let's just do 1 and then just get it done, and then go to the next one, and then the next one, and then the next one. And before you know it, you may have found that you've got about 30% extra money. This is what we generally find when people do this intentional look at their spending. And that suddenly you now can start investing in things, and the whole world opens up for you. So let me know how you go. If you have any other ideas, please message me as well. And in the meantime, make sure you find your path, get on your path, and stay on your path of intentionality.